So here we go.
Oh, that was...
Why'd you hit the wall? You probably broke that. That was insane.
That is crazy,
That was
isn't
crazy.
it?
That's like, you definitely can kill a shark with that.
I just
Wow.
decapitated that arrow in half. All right, good morning. We're here, California Caseismograph. Welcome. You guys are here for what you need in a time of emergency. There could be an earthquake, there could be fire, it could be even man-made. Like yesterday, we were here and the power went off. We were a whole day without power while we were trying to film.
How you doing?
We're here to get into it for understanding what's important to have in emergency equipment. Some of that you already probably have, but some things you might not. After we show you everything we have been collecting over the last years to make this video, we go and take this on the road.
Control going.
Of course, figure that out, and we are California Caseismograph on the road.
Road to Ridgecrest.
Somebody is still tired, sleeping in the back. On our way to Ridgecrest. We going to Ridgecrest?
Yep. You know, this camera is also overheating, I think, because there's so much sun. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And we're going to take this out to test it and show you how it all pans out. The phone is overheating, the camera is overheating. Welcome to California Caseismograph. We're here. Thank you, Michael, for showing up again.
Excited to see you.
And Dean, thank you. We're here to explain something very important that we have wanted to do for years already. We have together collected a lot of things, articles that you would need in an emergency. We live in Southern California, where earthquakes do happen and big ones could strike, and that would mean that you need something that is a backup to protect you when you lose electricity, when you lose water and gas, maybe your house is damaged or burned down, and it is not only for earthquakes. This can happen at any time, but a bug out back, then at least you have some essentials. And we want to have you have that understanding and the preparation of it before the hard times come. Well, Michael, it's great to have seen some of your new videos, and they're always cool to watch. The last one you just did, just recently here, you actually did a whole full video. We saw you develop it. Fantastic. The gazebo.
I was inspired by your gazebo.
Yeah, by our
and
gazebo
I have
here.
to try it
and you just made a fantastic little video on that. So if you haven't seen that, go to Earthquake Sims. So first things first, got a couple of articles on the table here today to start out with, because these are actually the things that I carry on a daily basis in my pocket for the reason that not only it's handy to have, I do jobs and I need things like these little knives and little pull-out kind of Swiss Army pliers that also are set up to have a knife in this case, but this does have a little saw, a little screwdriver setup, opener on this other side here. I like pliers. I think pliers are so handy, you know, and there's probably lots of guys agreeing with me. We have some things like larger blade on that, which is absolutely a necessity, but you'll find it on any Swiss type of blade setup. Anyway, it folds away real handy, concise, compact, and you stick it in your pocket. Another thing that I always carry is, you know, this is handy not in the daytime as much, but yeah, this is definitely something you want to carry around, especially if at night, if things happen and you have this in your pocket and you need to get out of the house because an earthquake happened, then you want to know where you're going, and a flashlight is, oh boy, so handy. Right? So another thing that is usually around me, and especially when you need it, which is glasses. Especially when you do need them already on a regular basis, even if you're young, some people are just born and need them. I need them for using your phone. Don't even have to ask you, do you have your phone in your pocket? You probably do it right now. But also in an emergency, I think the phones are going to be very important. If a major earthquake strikes Southern California or wherever you are, then a phone is going to be essential. Now here's a little lighter, and this is a small little pocket lighter. Now there are all kinds of lighters, and I can go in detail about a whole bunch of fantastic lighters. This is just off the shelf, just a dollar thing that you can pick up real easy. It's handy to have in your pocket. With that said, there is the first pocket essential, not per se life essential. Although part of it, I would think so.
This is also essential.
Yeah, absolutely. Very essential there. But to talk about what is most essential, I mean, for a human being, it would be first thing would be air, right? Sounds kind of funny. Oh, you say obviously air, but if you're in an earthquake and your house around you has damage, there could be fire and smoke. Air would be the first thing you're going for. Where you have your bag with the essentials that we're going to be talking about today should be in a place where you can reach it, even if your house does have damage that you can't get to a certain place. You want to have it maybe in your car. And thus, today we're going to talk about those essentials. Air, water would be number 2 pretty much. 3 days without water, most people will die. We'll talk about food, obviously. That's a big one for us.
Hungry.
Fresh caught. Ooh, ow.
That hot.
That is hot.
It says that it should be smoking.
Oh, look at that. Perfect. To stay in top performance, especially after an emergency, you want to have at least 3 days of food, if not more. But to get all that stuff together in a bag, you got to start with a bag, right? I have several bags here. Now, if you're alone, you probably have only 1 or 2 bags because you couldn't carry much more. But I have a set of bags here that are quite large, but they're color-coded because you have a large family. And if you have a large family, you would like to have a set of bags in a place like in the trunk of your car where everybody can get to it, but also instantly know which bag is theirs, because it will have also personal items. If you are a person that has a need of medicine, those are one of the essentials that you want to make sure you have, especially if you take regularly on a daily basis medicine and you're dependent on it, that you have an extra box or an extra whatever in your buckout bag. That way you don't have to go looking for them after the emergency. And simple things like talk to the hands. So this is for your hands. If you're out in the sun for days, then you would want to have something to protect yourself, some sunscreen. Trust me, if you're alone or by yourself out in the middle of heat and you need protection, anything is better than nothing. Certain things that are essentials to you, those belong then in your bag, and thus the color code is so handy for that. So, pills and things like that. The bags are, like I said, rather large, but the reason for that is because in these bags we're looking at all the things you want to have available. Now, they're also large because you could potentially have in here a backpack already. This is just a little backpack, very light. You can scrunch this up very small and have this in this big bag. Come to your location where you need to be, and then you take this out of this big bag, leave whatever the other things is there where you're staying, and now you have at least another good little bag that carries around all the other personal belongings. But the other thing is, this is going to carry your water, some food, because those are the very first 3 days. You want to have everything in here that you need the first 3 days at least. You also want to have in here, in those 3 days, you definitely need certain clothes and shoes, especially things like that. If something happens, you run out of your house really quickly and you're in your sandals, you want to have a good pair of walking shoes in here. That would save your life. So that's why this bag is rather larger. They go all in this bag, but once you don't need the bag anymore, it's not per se the bag you carry around all the time, because it would be the heavier bag. Yeah. And what do we have in these bags besides clothes, shoes, toothbrush, some soap? This article. This is a really handy device. It's called a little thermal blanket. They are very small packed, they're very lightweight, and everybody should have them. They're very inexpensive, they cost less than $10 each, and they are phenomenal. These blankets can be very useful too. You can make a shelter out of it because it has actually a reflective side that you can then turn inside out, and that is an aluminum. It's made like a kind of a sleeping bag.
Oh wow.
As you can see. So they're very inexpensive, but they could definitely be lifesavers, these. So what you guys can do is you can then turn them inside out, as you saw me do here. And once they're inside out, now you have a very reflective, a mirror coating, and that actually now can keep you cool. So what you do is you take the actual place where they seamed this together and you rip this apart. And once you rip this apart, you can actually put this between maybe 2 trees, or now there's not much of a tree here, but I could potentially put this reflectors around something like this table, and now I can sit down here and actually be in the shade. If you're alone or by yourself out in the middle of heat and you need protection, anything is better than nothing. So these things are absolutely essential. Everybody should have one in their bag. There are different types. You can buy them on Amazon and other places. We are going to talk about our next articles, and which is actually one of the other very essentials. You do want to have this in your backpack when you're in bug out bag, which is first aid kit. Any types? Those smaller ones are usually the type you want to get. Anywhere with 150, 200 articles in that. Now we can open it just to give you a view of all the things that are in there, which is anything from gauze and and the regular bandage. It does even have a rope, which is really handy. Just about every little thing that you need for small emergency help. Those little kits are an absolute must to carry along. At least one of the people in your group should have one. They're not too expensive, anywhere between $20, $30. You can get things like this. There's a couple of other articles that are, I think, per se a must, but they're really handy. Let's say the phone company is also having trouble and you don't have signal. Those little radios are fantastic. So for less than $20 you have a full-on little volt radio, and they don't take much energy. You can set these in the sun and charge this up. We're gonna try to find something here. Wow. I guess the sound is there, guys.
Yeah.
So there we go.
It is working.
Yeah,
We can hear it.
So if you want to have a battery, a radio and a flashlight all together, these are very handy devices. They're inexpensive, they're great to have in emergency, and especially those that keep themselves charged. This is very compact. It's about the weight of a book and it's about the size of a small book. But ultimately this is a foldable solar panel. They're not too expensive, they're really handy. You can use them during the daytime and keep charging your phone every day, and your phone is, you're gonna not want to lose your phone. So if you do have room available, especially people that have their car and you can still use your car, wouldn't be a problem, you could have one of these in your car. These are absolutely the bomb. They're pretty light. I always give it to Michael to tell me how heavy it is. What do you think, Michael? It's a little bit of weight.
Heavy, but there's something.
It's not crazy, but it definitely is.
Oh wow, it's foldable, so
it's foldable, and it makes for a rather large solar panel surface.
Interesting.
What we talked about on the table, one of these things. These are great to set out, and if you're in need of some more electricity for your phone. So we're gonna set it up, and we're gonna start using this and see if we can charge something up. We'll just set it right there. They say not to hook it up while there is sunlight up. You should first close that. All right. So after you plug it up, you can now open it up, and now we can see indeed we have 14.4 volts. 13.
Wow.
So it's full battery power like your car would give. I'm gonna go get my battery charger thing here, and then we go in here to pick up our voltage from this into this. And sure enough, there it says, it's hard to see probably, but it has the charging signal right there. Wow, look at this big thing. So what I got in my hands here are really interesting devices. They are actually solar cookers. And this is a very small type of that. It's pretty light. I mean, this you could carry around in your bag.
Surprisingly light.
Yes, and let me open it up and show you.
Oh wow.
So what you do is this can sit in the sun, and you can actually put your water in here and boil it. And you don't even need full sunshine for this. That way you can make water sterile, or at least able to drink it without poisoning yourself. I would use a small one like this only for water. And the reason being is, once you use them for food and you get this soiled with food, you need to somehow be able to also wash them out really well. Because otherwise they would a source of contamination for your water. And so I would boil in something like this only the water. But if you have the need of making food and heating food, then one of these devices that are bigger can do that. But feel the difference on this. That's like 10 times that, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a pretty heavy. But this opens up in a big old solar panel thing.
Whoa.
Look at this.
It's like a giant curved magnifier.
So, and it has actually these things here to set it in here to get the right setting for the sun. Watch. And then this will, once it is in the holes, this has the perfect amount of sunlight focused on this inner cylinder, and you can absolutely cook in this your food.
Wow.
So
just by using the sun panel.
yeah, just use, and then
That is.
let me tell you something. What is really neat about this device is you do not need full sunlight.
Wow.
In regular, even a shady type of situation, this could get easily 200 something degrees hot. Let's have a
Pretty hungry.
fresh caught. Ooh, ow!
Oh my.
Ouch!
It's that hot.
That is hot.
It's smoking hot.
So
You
that
might
means
burn it.
almost burning temperature.
Oh, look at that! Perfect. Look at these puppies.
Oh my god.
Go for it, guys. It's yours.
Yeah, but they're hot.
Yeah, they're hot.
Oh my god.
Eat them.
Oh, sizzling.
That is super hot.
Oh, I can smell them. Oh, they smell good.
Super hot.
Oh, I can feel this heat coming out of here, and also here. Wow. Put your hand in there. Feel that.
No, thank you.
That is
Wow.
hot. All right, and let's see how the water is, guys. Here, Dean. Let's pour this out now. Whoa! Ow! Ow!
It
Probably
is hot.
boiling.
We're gonna give water to the trees for here, but it was boiling. All right.
This is still very hot, and it's only been what 5-10 minutes. They've taken it out of this thing.
Yeah.
So that's really impressive. First bite. Of course, you're not gonna have a McDonald's. It's not McDonald's biscuit. A hotel biscuit out in the desert in the middle of nowhere. This would be, fortunately, a rabbit or something. All right.
Try it.
Ooh. Ooh. Wow. That was good. I'm very hot. It was nice.
Awesome.
That was good.
It looks really good.
Cooked up with our solar cooker right here.
Definitely worth it.
Definitely worth it. Oh, there goes my back. I have to go run. Yes!
I got that.
Nailed it! Yes! Nailed it! Look how far it is in. And that's solid wood, man. This is like,
That's no joke.
That is unbelievable.
no, that is no joke.
That's no joke.